Welcome to Mental Health Dumpster Fire, a podcast where therapists give their real opinions on mental health, relationships, parenting, and pop culture. Hosted by Courtney, licensed clinical social worker, and Jess Miller, art therapist. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and cannot be used as a substitute for therapy. We cannot provide mental health services via this podcast or social media. We occasionally use explicit language in our podcast and discuss serious mental health and relationship issues. Please use discretion if you are listening with children. We hope you enjoy the show. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm recording.
All right.
We're back.
Woo! Bow, 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 bow. New and improved.
Yes, welcome to our show. It's Mental Health Dumpster Fire, Season 2.
Bow.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
New couch, new season.
Yes. New couch, new season, 100%.
We've revamped the studio. We've revamped the format.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to give you the mental health content that you're looking for.
We think.
Yeah. I think we're going to rock it out.
Yeah. I'm excited for the new format we have. We're going to be able to dive deep into some good topics while also keeping it light and goofy and with some Am I the Asshole related content.
Yes, ma'am.
So keeping it fresh and some stuff the same, but
yeah,
getting a little more into psychology and mental health and pop culture.
Yep.
Like we are wanting.
Yep. Yeah, we've decided we're going to take turns deep diving into some topics that we're interested in because we kind of do that in our free time anyway. Mm-hmm. And then we're also not abandoning the Reddit stuff because that's fun.
Yeah.
And that's what we started with. So I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've been having fun doing my little research.
Yeah.
On stuff. And just researching what I want.
Yes. I am too. I have already I might have to divide this one up into 2 parts.
Oh, okay.
And do a 2-parter because I started on one thing and then it evolved into a more general thing and then went back to the first thing. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
I think that's totally fine because the stuff that I've been researching for when I do my deep dive might also need to be a 2-parter. Yeah. So
yeah. And that's, whatever.
It's fine. We're basically going to talk about our hyperfixation of the day. And so, of course, it's going to be a lot. Yeah. We're getting into it.
Yeah. And I don't know if I want to admit that this is a hyperfixation.
Maybe not hyperfixation, but topic of relevance.
Yeah. It's an interest of mine, I guess, but not because I like it.
It's because we encounter it and have to deal with it.
Right.
And it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, and it will spark conversation. So any further information that you might have on the topics that we talk about or opinions that you have, please share them in the comments on Spotify or YouTube or social media and let us know what you think of our new format, our new episodes, and the topics that we talk about.
Yeah. And if you have ideas for topics,
yeah,
let
absolutely.
Us know. We'll do some deep
ideas.
dives.
If you came across something and you're like, what is this? Send it our way.
Love it.
Yay! Should we get started?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yay. Okay. So for my first deep dive, I was very interested in toxic masculinity, but specifically the alpha male influencer dudes.
Ooh, okay.
Because every time I see something from them, I just am so confused and I don't understand what's happening, where they're getting their ideas from.
Yeah.
How they're getting so many followers that just are hang on to their every word and just take whatever they say as gospel. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to dig into how that comes up, why it's so effective on social media. And then it kind of started going into like just masculinity and misogyny generally, and also as a broader topic, like just right-wing media.
Yeah, because it's very much adjacent subjects.
Yeah, they have similar vibes, and it's very much like, here's my conservative view on life and how I feel like the world should be. And I'm going to just go all in on that. And even though there are holes in it, I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah, like, not letting go.
Right.
Even when it's been proven to me that it's not great.
Because one of the things that, like, I always notice when I hear people like Andrew Tate is one of the big toxic masculinity alpha male guys.
Yeah.
One of the things he always says, and other like alpha male guys say, is like, well, traditionally, men need to have multiple sexual partners. They need to go out. It's inherent in their DNA that they cheat and have sex with multiple people and not have any kind of emotional attachment. But it's expected that women are virginal and have one partner and are completely loyal, and you cannot do anything that would make a guy look at you in a desirable way because you belong to one man. And then my brain is always like, well, how can both of those things be true at once?
Yeah, so there is no logic here. So the man is expected to have multiple partners, sexual partners, but women are expected to be only with one man.
Right. And you're only desirable if you have no experience with sex, and if you that
makes no sense.
Otherwise you're not desirable. So like, where are you finding all these people to sleep with?
Yeah, because they probably are not having sex with just one person, or are not virginal.
Right.
So supposedly by your logic, they should be not desirable. But that's what's happening.
Right. Because you're preaching
no
to
sense.
the men to be this hypersexual person who degrades women because that's what you're supposed to do, and you're preaching to all the women that you need to be submissive and pick one person and just give everything to them. But how those two can't go together.
They can't happen at the same time.
Right. So like, what do you want? And nobody like calls them out on that.
A basic like logic flaw.
Right. Like they'll like bring people on to like debate them and be like, well, that's not fair. Women should be able to do what they want. And then they debate that. But it's like, why are you debating that? They just think women are lesser humans.
Right.
Like,
we already know that's what's
anywhere.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that I think that way, but we can pick apart that illogical basis that they have.
Yeah. And it's very frustrating to me that nobody's like said that to them.
Yeah,
to
that's
like,
interesting.
Well, how does that work? Where are you finding these people?
Yeah. Because they rage bait people. I'm assuming
that's what it is.
And
it's like grifting.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually believe that. Like that's not actually how you live your life.
Yeah.
But that's how you present to yourself online. So
gross.
Yeah. So I've gone down multiple rabbit holes, which is why I think I need a part 2, because what's happening? So here's one thing that I saw from a couple different places.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a link to everything, because there's like YouTube videos and...
Oh, yeah. We're going to cite our sources.
Yeah. Journal articles and all that stuff. Like there's all that in there. In the description, there will be all the links.
Yeah.
So there was a YouTube video that I saw from a creator called Not Even Emily. She's so funny. But she did a YouTube video recently, like in the past couple weeks, where she talks about the Madonna whore complex.
Okay.
Which
I vaguely know what that is. I know who Madonna is.
I had never heard of it, and it's like real old. It's a very old, like almost like Freudian kind of concept.
Okay.
Actually, I think I pulled up like the Wikipedia about it.
Nice.
A construct of male psychology that constrains female sexuality by categorizing a woman as either pure and good or promiscuous and bad, which negatively impacts the mental well-being, sexual function, and relational health and intimacy of all genders. That's like the origins are like kind of unknown, but it's from Freud's time period.
Yeah, that was kind of the only theoretical approach to mental health at the time. So everything in that time is kind of tainted by that.
Yeah. So you can either be virginal and good and nurturing and a good wife and mother kind of thing, or you're a slut and
there's no in between.
There's no goodness in you. You're a terrible person. And the concept is that, like, if men see women as the Madonna, they are not sexually attracted to you.
Right.
Because you're not a sexual being.
Right.
She starts talking about, like, how people are saying, like, oh, I like this girl so much, and now I can't view her sexually, so we can't date. And it kind of just reinforces the idea that, like, women are second-class citizens and don't deserve to be treated nicely,
right?
Basically, because otherwise, if they're treated nicely, that means that they're equals, and then men aren't the dominant species,
right,
in society. And then that's just misogyny.
Yep.
Because it all goes back to misogyny.
It's all misogyny.
And if men are at the top and women are at the bottom, like, no wonder everybody who's gender nonconforming is like dirt.
Right. They're even more at the bottom.
Right. Because we haven't even had the time to give them their place, so they're going to be right at the bottom.
Yep. Yeah.
The Journal of Terrorism and Political Violence.
Wow.
This was published in January of 2024.
Recent.
And it's talking about male violence and misogyny. And some of the highlights are that misogyny predicts violent extremist intentions, willingness to engage in interpersonal violence, and increased support for violence against women via revenge planning and hypermasculinity, particularly among men who experience a sense of violated entitlement and greater threats to the in-group. So not only are women lesser than, they are also a threat to masculinity because we don't want to be dirt on your shoe.
Right.
There was a show on Netflix recently called Adolescence.
I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list.
Yeah. I don't have Netflix anymore, so I haven't seen it, but I've watched many videos about it from like therapists and things like that.
Yeah, so, I saw a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah. One of my favorite YouTubers, Brian E. Clare, talked about it, and then the YouTuber that we've talked about before, Dr. Anna, she has a video on it, but it's basically a Netflix show, like a limited series about a boy who allegedly, like a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
He like looks like a baby.
Yeah, like just entered teenhood.
Yeah, yeah. That he like allegedly stabbed and killed a female classmate. And he says that like she was bullying him and calling him an incel. And then as they like talk to him more, they find that he's been engaging online with these alpha male type social media accounts where he was learning that like women should be submissive to men, and if you're being rejected, like there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
And
because that kind of behavior and thought pattern is learned. It's not inherent.
Yeah. So in the show, there's like the third episode is him talking to a psychologist. Like the whole episode is like a session with this psychologist who I'm not sure if she was there to treat him or like assess him for the court. But he kind of just like he just like maintains through the whole thing that he didn't do it. And then he like gets real aggressive and like up in the therapist's face.
Yeah.
And like starts spewing this misogynist like talking points, but then also is very much like seeking her approval and like really wants her to like him as a person. So he's like constantly seeking external validation and has very low self-esteem, and so that's kind of starting to put together that like these toxic masculine talking points of men are superior. Most of the people who believe those things are pretty insecure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I started going down an incel rabbit hole. Which was
scary.
A lot.
Scary.
There was an article about incel, like she like, was it a she? I'm not sure. This journal, it was on Sage Journals, which is just like a publisher of various journals.
Yeah.
But the title of it is Weaponized Subordination, How Incels Discredit Themselves to Degrade Women. And it was published in 2022. And she just like really dove into, he just really dove into
we figured it out.
incel like forums online and like just put the full quotes in there.
Whoa.
And it was craziness. So he says incels perceive themselves, incels is short for involuntary celibate. They believe that they are incapable of finding a romantic partner, and this article kind of goes into why that is. It says incels perceive themselves as disadvantaged by lookism,
okay.
which they define as prejudice or discrimination based on one's looks. Incels use lookism to establish themselves as subordinate men, seeing their bodies as failed masculine projects in comparison with men they see as hegemonic, i.e. chads. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
People they think are attractive. Incels similarly emasculate themselves in relation to numerous physical features, including their weak jawlines, which they call jawlets, and thin wrists, which they call wristlets, or tall but thin frames, lanklets.
So that's an interesting, it's not etymology. It's another word that sounds like etymology, but like where words come from. Mm-hmm. The let thing is like a French thing to feminize a word.
Right.
So they're feminizing and emasculating by adding that to the ends of those words. They're making them sound girly.
Right. So this article dives into like this very much low self-esteem, self-degrading, and they like post pictures of themselves and then like tear each other apart to be like, yeah, no wonder you can't get any ladies. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Pick themselves apart. Degrade themselves to be like, this is why I can't get any dates or anything.
Is that like masochist? Is that what that is?
I don't know. But then at the same time, they are so hateful towards women for rejecting them.
Okay.
So they hate themselves, but then they also hate women and just call them whores and say that they're like, they like view them as objects and all this stuff. Incels weaponize their perceived subordinate masculine status to legitimate misogyny and male supremacy. Weaponized subordination is a hybrid practice. It leverages incels' perception of themselves as subordinate to legitimate their participation in homogeny, e.g. denigrating women. In addition to interpersonal violence, incels desire systemic male supremacy and the elimination of women's rights. So then he quotes some users that say women should have all their rights and liberties taken away. Women should be property. They suggest that governments or powerful men should distribute women among men to solve the incel problem.
Ew. This is Handmaid's Tale.
Like just drop off a lady at your house and be like, here's your lady.
Gross.
And they refer to that as sexual Marxism.
No, we're not gonna attach Marxism to something like this. This is disgusting, and
it got real gross and real dark.
Ugh.
So then it just kind of, my research got into like kind of what we were talking about earlier, that like these talking points are nonsensical and don't make sense. Like, so you think that you are disgusting and not worthy of anything compared to the dominant men who you find attractive. Mm-hmm. But also men are garbage. Women are nothing and whores and objects and should just be used for your pleasure and nothing else. Like, how can both of those be true?
They can't.
It doesn't
make sense.
And it's just kind of like whatever in the moment fits your worldview or what you feel like your worldview should be, that's what you're going to say. Because it's the same thing for like conservative influencers or broadcasters or whatever. They will say things about like immigrants. They're dangerous. They're going to rape all the women and take all the jobs and blah, blah, blah. But also we hate women and they shouldn't have rights. So like, what's the deal?
So do you value women or do you not value women?
Exactly.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Or do you just value your own selfish intentions?
Right. And then they go into this whole thing about like how women are going to betray true Americans by marrying immigrants.
What?
So now we're getting into racism and how we're going to be like betraying our race by
that pisses me off.
Making babies with
we live in America. People. Everyone in America is an immigrant.
Yup.
Fight me. It's a fact. Everyone is an immigrant unless you're indigenous. Fact.
You didn't see the Mehdi Hassan video that he did with Jubilee?
No, but that sounds great.
Oh my gosh. Jubilee is a YouTube channel and they have this series where they bring in one person who is like a well-known figure to have some kind of worldview, and then they surround them with 20 people who think the opposite.
Yeah, I've seen the like clips of those videos before.
Yeah. So Mehdi Hassan is a progressive journalist. Mm-hmm. They put him in the middle and surrounded him with what they said were far-right conservatives.
Okay.
They were just so far, like, none of the talk, like we were saying earlier, like, if you, like, fundamentally disagree on what a human being is, you can't debate somebody.
No.
So, like, his first point was something about, like, Trump promotes crime, is, like, pro-crime because he pardoned all the January 6th rioters.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
And then somebody sat down and they were basically like, well, I don't think that we should have a democracy, so I believe that we should have an autocracy where the leader can do whatever they want. And he was like, okay, so that's just fascism and I can't debate you.
Yeah.
Because we have a fundamental disagreement on what the world can be.
So that's not a fair debate platform.
Right. And then there were people that just came in and were just immediately like, no, immigration is stupid and anybody who doesn't look like me should get it. Like, Mehdi Hassan is British, but he's an American citizen. Like, he is an American citizen. Mm-hmm. He immigrated, but he's an American citizen. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, nope, you're not. And you need to leave. And it was disgusting. And I would have been terrified to be sitting
in a room full of people.
In the middle of a circle of people who physically just hate me.
A room full of people who hate you and wish you ill.
Yeah.
Want you dead or gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
But that's the same kind of thing. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What do you actually believe, and does it make sense? Or are you just repeating things from extremists that you've seen?
Right.
So another route is that people who feel that women are less than and that's why they can't find anybody, they start talking about the male loneliness epidemic. Have you heard of the
I have heard of that before.
There was a survey done in 2023 where 2/3 of men aged 18 to 23 said that they felt that no one really knows me, and 15% of men said they had no close friendships, which is 5 times what they said in a 1990 survey.
Yikes. All right. It's getting worse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the things that I read were saying that, like, because masculinity is so prevalent, like these masculine stereotypes are so prevalent, men are not allowed to be vulnerable with anybody.
Yeah.
And so they don't have close connections or people that they can trust because
they're not allowed
not allowed to be. It's not masculine, and so they just don't do anything.
Yeah.
So then they have a greater risk of depression, a greater risk of anxiety, greater risk for suicide. Mm-hmm. The Surgeon General recently put out a report on how loneliness is like a public health epidemic in America.
Yikes. Yeah.
And that we need to like have spaces where people can meet each other in person and not rely on social media, and we need to be able to encourage like actual genuine connections with people and vulnerability. Right. But then the manosphere guys, the alpha male guys, are saying like, no, absolutely not. You cannot be friends with anybody. Basically, you can't be friends with women because women are whores and objects.
Right.
And you can't be friends with men because that would require vulnerability, and that's feminine.
And that's not masculine.
Right.
So, okay. Yeah. That sounds very lonely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I think I'm going to dive in more to Andrew Tate specifically next time. But he's kind of like the catalyst for all of my research here. Mm-hmm. He is kind of the figurehead to alpha male toxic masculinity standards. And I just find it so interesting that like he has such a huge fan base who just kind of like Trump fans just ignore anything negative that he does. Like he's been charged with human trafficking.
Oh my God.
And his followers are just like, no, he wasn't. Like
there's literally paperwork about it.
Right. Like he's gonna go to trial for that. Like you need to just like,
oh my God,
get your head out of your ass. But
they don't charge you with that if they don't have reason to. Like,
yeah. But the big thing that I found that I've wanted to look into was like the psychology of it and like why this happens. And so, like I've talked about, a lot of it is just like the culture, the conservative culture, just like being very loud and vocal, and everybody being like, well, that sounds great. Like if I could have any woman that I want and not have to work for it, like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do it that way. Then I don't have to work and like work for it and like be vulnerable or be nice to people. But then overall, like that's just perpetuating the loneliness and the depression and blah, blah, blah. So I really wanted to look into like the psychology of Andrew Tate himself. And at the very last minute, I found out that there's 2 videos where he sat down with a therapist and talked for a very long time. The therapist is a little iffy. Did you watch Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Okay, Christopher, Rory's dad, he quit acting to become a therapist.
Oh, okay.
So it's that guy, David.
Interesting.
David Sutcliffe.
Okay.
He quit acting to become a therapist, but he didn't go to school and get like a master's degree. He went to the Radical Aliveness Institute to become a certified core energetics / radical aliveness practitioner in somatic psychotherapy.
Okay.
2012. So I'm not sure what that place is, but he specializes in somatic things. And from the clips that I've seen so far, I want to dive deeper into it in part 2, because I started it and I started watching therapists react to it, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But so from what I've seen so far, he's very good at reflecting and building rapport and just kind of like saying back what Andrew Tate says to him to be like, let me understand this better. That seems good. But one interesting thing that I'll say so far before I dive deeper into it next time is the very end, like right, like the last 2 minutes. The therapist says, I find it interesting that you struggle to be fully present in the moment. Like you just want to be cognitive and in control and very cerebral and just talk about what your thoughts are, but you have trouble like just being in the moment. And I wonder what it would be like if we just sat and like just connected, just like stop thinking and just connect with me, because that's, I think, what you've been missing. And it was really hard for Andrew Tate to do that. Like his legs started bouncing. He was trying to be like, what do I talk about? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then eventually he was just like, all right, we're done. And ended it. And I was like, So
he did not want to get vulnerable.
Uncomfortable with the vulnerability and being uncomfortable with the connection that he was probably seeking throughout his life, which I will get into next time because it's interesting. It all goes back to the parents and generational trauma.
It usually does.
Yep.
Usually does.
But it was interesting that he just like couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't completely in his control. And he needed to have complete control over the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next time I'll dive in specifically to Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Okay.
But overall, that was my general overview of toxic masculinity on the internet, how it doesn't make sense, and how we're trying to find ways to like make ourselves feel better, but because our society is not encouraging connection and vulnerability, the way we make ourselves feel better is to tear everybody else down.
Right. Yeah, because if you can't be vulnerable with people, you're going to tear them down and make them vulnerable instead.
Yeah. And try to give yourself some power to feel better about yourself. Yeah. Thoughts?
Yikes. Yikes. So you went down a rabbit hole of like how it relates to conservative far-right stuff.
Yeah, there was a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the same audiences.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, of like it's the same kind of people, because it's the same kind of weird not logic. It's that same pattern of this is true, but this is also true, but they can't be true at the same time, but we're going to ignore that part.
Right. Yeah.
That's like the whole far right
anything that doesn't feel like it will benefit me directly, I'm going to ignore it.
Yeah.
And decide that it's not real.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's giving cult. It's very cultish. But like scary cultish.
Yeah.
Like really scary.
And if you're not willing to be vulnerable or look at yourself or look at things that could be better, how can it change?
Right. They don't want to change.
It would require them to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And realize that other people are people too.
But they don't want to do that. They want to keep festering. Yeah. Gross.
Yeah.
It's super gross.
It is, because like I don't know, like I was thinking, I was like, I've never had a client like this, and I was like, why would I have a client like that?
You wouldn't. No.
They're not going to come to me.
We don't see those people show up as clients because they wouldn't seek out therapy, and especially not with us because we're female presenting humans.
Yeah. I've heard of colleagues who have had clients that are on this track or like have some kind of belief similar to this, and their first question, not to them but just generally, was like, why are you here? Like,
yeah.
What
if this is your belief system?
How did you end up in a room with a female therapist?
Yeah, yeah. If this is what you think, then why are you here?
Yeah.
And it's definitely a female-dominated field for sure. But it's not like there aren't male and male-presenting therapists out there. So,
and I've met male therapists who hold beliefs similar to this. So
that's scary.
It is possible to go to therapy and have those worldviews.
Yeah, confirmed. Yeah, confirmed and validated for you. That's scary. I don't like that.
But maybe at least you're getting some practice at being vulnerable and honest about your emotions.
Maybe.
And that's maybe a start. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. The motivation to go to therapy, if you have that belief system, like, I don't know what it would take for that to happen.
Right.
Like, I guess maybe they have a moment of vulnerability and we're like, oh, maybe I should talk to someone about this.
Maybe, but like, even if, like, I'm thinking, like, even if they were like court ordered to go to therapy, or like they were charged with domestic violence or terrorism on women, and they were forced to go to jail, and in jail they were forced to go to therapy, like, you can't force them to participate.
Right. They can sit in that room.
Yeah.
But they don't have to talk or do anything. So they could just refuse. Be like that kid in adolescence and just constantly say that he's innocent the whole time.
Yeah. And you don't know what they're going to take away from it, too. Because I've heard many people say, like, well, my therapist told me this. And I'm like, your therapist wouldn't say that.
Yeah. It's like, I think your therapist said something else, and that's how you interpreted what they told you.
Yeah.
Because very rarely is anyone going to verbatim remember what their therapist said. Unless it was something life-changing or very impactful.
Right.
Then maybe, but most of the time, no.
Right. And I think sometimes reflections are like the most powerful tool that therapists have for building rapport and building understanding and encouraging clients to be honest. But sometimes I think they can be used, they can backfire on us.
Yeah.
By like reflecting something and then being like, so you agree? Well, I was just saying what you said.
Right. It's like, I heard you say this. Like, it's all, you got to make sure you preface your reflection with the statement that you are reflecting back what they said to you.
Yep.
Yikes.
But yeah, so that's my introduction to toxic masculinity, and next time I will dive in specifically to Andrew Tate going to therapy.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I might watch those videos before next time, or should I wait? Should I wait, or should I watch them?
I mean, I'm probably gonna be pretty specific in the things I talk about.
Okay.
So, but I think I'm mostly going to watch other therapists talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I can. It's like he did it twice, and both of them were over an hour. The second one was over 2 hours.
Yeah, because that's a lot of gross energy that I'm not interested in absorbing face first.
Right. Even the clips, I'm like, I'm getting angry.
Yeah.
Angry. Yeah.
I'm getting the feeling that I don't like this guy.
Yep.
And I never will.
Yep.
Yikes.
Well, that's what I got. I feel like I was so nervous with this new format. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure to just like to present things, and I'm not as organized as I want to be. Like, I should like written a script or something.
It's like doing a school presentation.
Yes.
Kind of a feeling. Yeah.
So hopefully I get better at it over time, but it's the first one.
Yeah. It's okay. We're figuring it out.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely let us know what your experience has been with toxic masculinity, misogyny, influencers online that say extreme things, and let us know what you think about it. Do you have some Reddit stories for us?
I, in fact, do have some Reddit stories for us today. So I found some good am I overreacting things. I've been liking it more than the am I the assholes lately. They're just juicier. I think.
They are.
They're just more dramatic. Am I the asshole is nice to debate. Are they the asshole or not? And most of the times people aren't. They're being basically emotionally abused or something, into thinking that they are.
Yeah, am I overreacting is a very good, look at this snapshot of my relationship.
Yeah, it's like, look at these texts that he sent me out of the blue. I broke up with him. Was I overreacting? Right. It's like, no, girl. That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. This one. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend thinks that my job is inappropriate. And this is a person that posted it and then deleted their profile afterwards. So the post is still up, but the original poster is not on Reddit anymore. Posting on a throwaway account. Me and my boyfriend have been together for nearly 9 months, and he has never shown any signs that he was bothered by my job before this. I've been trying to get in touch with him for nearly a week now, and I'm hearing nothing back from him, even though he has been posting on Insta, so I know he's just straight up ignoring me. I really don't understand why he's acting this way. And then to insinuate that I could be cheating on him, he has never acted like he's had a problem before, so I'm just confused. And then I'm going to read the text. So he texted her, something has just been bugging me, but I'm working on it. She says, can you tell me about it? I want to help if I can. And then he says, it's just when I asked if you wanted to get lunch yesterday, but you couldn't because you had to pierce some dude's nipples. Felt weird about it. So this poster works at a tattoo piercing place and they do piercings. Original poster. Because I couldn't get lunch, ? The guy, nah, I felt weird about the piercing. Why? I've done piercings like that countless times before. And he says, I just didn't like the idea of a dude having his shirt off in front of you and you touching him and it's just the two of you there. Mm-hmm. And she replied, him having his shirt off isn't even a weird thing to me. Like, I'm not looking at anyone in that way. I just wish you didn't have to give those types of piercings because it bugs me. She says, it's my job. That's all I see it as. I was doing this when we met you, so you know that I would be doing this kind of stuff. It's always bothered me, but I wasn't about to tell you that when we had just met.
That's your problem.
Yeah. If you don't communicate that something's bothering you about a person that you're in a relationship with, and they don't know that it bothers you, then nothing can be done.
They can't. Yeah, they physically can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because they can't read your mind.
So being mad at someone for something that you haven't told them that you're upset with.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
It doesn't make sense.
Don't do that. He says, I don't think it's wrong of me to not like my girlfriend being around dudes getting all types of piercings in weird places. Nipple piercings are pretty standard.
And it's such an assumption. Like, what about a man having a shirt off around your girlfriend means that she's going to pursue him sexually?
Yeah. Oh, she's so tempted at her job.
Right.
And he made it sound like they were in a room alone together, blah, blah, blah. Typically, when you go to a piercings place, it's one big open room.
Well, sometimes they have,
if you want privacy. Off. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if a woman was getting her nipples pierced, they would probably put her in a separate area.
Yeah.
But
and they usually offer, too, if you're getting any kind of piercing done, at least in my experience, they're like, hey, would you rather do it, over here, or are you okay?
Not a bedroom, a candlelit bedroom.
They're not on a date.
Yeah.
She's doing her job. Yeah. Also, I don't think she wants to be piercing some guy's nipples. Maybe it's her job,
not but she's turned on by her job.
Yeah, she's not getting pleasure out of it. She might be getting pleasure out of inflicting pain on another human being. That can be a thing, but it's not like she's not getting off.
Creepy about it, or she wouldn't have that job
anymore. Yeah, she wouldn't be allowed to have that job. Yeah. No one would want to get piercings from her. She says, you're the one making it into something it isn't. There's nothing inappropriate about it. I'm not attracted to any of these people. I'm not even thinking that way when I'm piercing them. Mm-hmm. He says, I don't know why you're trying to make it seem like I'm a bad guy for being bothered by it.
Okay. So now we're turning it around and making it a her thing. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. We're seeing some of that toxic masculinity here. She says, I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm just saying I don't get why you're making my job seem so inappropriate. I'm not doing anything weird. He says, it's just I'll never know if I'm not there. And then she says, what do you mean? With a bunch of question marks. He says, I don't know what happens when I'm not there.
So what, you need to be with her all the time because otherwise you can't trust her? Maybe you shouldn't be with someone you don't trust.
And at the end, she says, if you think I'm doing something weird, then why are you still with me? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he goes, I just need to think about it. And then she hasn't heard from him in a week.
And now he's avoiding her and giving her the silent treatment.
Right. For a whole week.
A week not talking to your girlfriend of 9 months?
Yeah. Like, I don't care how early on in a relationship you are with someone, not texting them back for a week, that's not okay.
It's definitely not. First, holding in that you don't like her job for 9 months.
Yeah, when you knew she had that job when you met.
And then making it a thing where I'm mad at you because I don't like your job.
But I didn't tell you I don't like your job.
Right. But it's inappropriate for you to interact with men in a workplace who are coming to you for a service. Mm-hmm. And if I can't supervise you around men, it must mean that you're cheating on me.
Yeah.
Because you can't be trusted around men because you're a whore.
Yep.
And women are whores.
We're seeing this toxic masculinity play out. Mm-hmm. He thinks that she's a whore. So if there's a shirtless guy in front of her, she's going to do him. Mm-hmm. And he can't trust her. But he's also running into his own bad logic of because she's like, then why are you with me? And he's, oh,
I don't know.
I don't know. So now I'm not going to talk to you for a week. And then the comments all are stuff we said. You're not overreacting. He's trying to control you. This is crazy. Guys are broken in the head from porn.
And it's not just porn. It's social media. It's other men saying women can't be trusted.
Lots of people supporting this poster and being like, yeah, get out.
It's the same. It's like an extreme view of like men and women can't be friends without falling in love with each other. It's like, okay, now I can't even look at a man without falling in love.
Right.
And cheating on my partner.
I always found that so frustrating growing up because most of my friends growing up were guys. Mm-hmm. And I always found it really frustrating because people would just like, they would try to pair us up together all the time. Be like, oh, they're going to fall in love and get married one day. Or like in middle school and high school, I got called dyke all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, she's into girls. So like, she's trying to be like a masculine whatever because she's into girls.
It starts so early too. Like anytime a teenage boy or a young man is like playing with a child or like being a good...
People are being weird about
kids. They're like, oh, is that your boyfriend? She's 4.
Yeah.
Like, and you're already teaching her that men are only there for a relationship, for a romantic relationship. And you're teaching him that he can't be good with kids and a nurturing person.
Yeah.
Or he'll be perceived as...
You're promoting that toxic masculinity. Yeah. Men are allowed to... play with their kids.
Male teenagers can be good.
They can be babysitters.
Kids. They can babysit without it being weird.
It doesn't have to be weird.
Let's promote men being good fathers someday if they want to be. Like
my dad was a stay-at-home dad. Mm-hmm. He raised us. Great dad. Did a great job. And there's just so many comments under this post.
I feel like I'm hearing an uptick both online and like with people I know with like feeling the need to just have surveillance of your partner at all times. Like if you're not sharing your location with the person that you've been on one date with, like you can't be trusted somehow.
I understand sharing location for like a safety thing. But my husband and I share a location.
I share my location with lots of people. My sister and I share location and like we use it to be like, oh, let me check and see if she's home before I call her. So I'm not interrupting.
Yeah, like, yeah. I get that, yeah.
Or like when I go up to visit her so she can see how far away I am or something without having to call me and have me be like, oh, I don't know, I'm driving. But like,
but people...
to do it to be like, I'm constantly, or like the teenagers who are like, okay, we're together now, so you can't talk to anybody unless I know them too. It's like, are you their mother? Like...
Yeah.
You can't go over to their house until I meet their parents kind of thing. Like,
kind of wild that teenagers are like jumping into that off the bat in their relationships too.
If you can't trust the person that you want to date, why are you dating them?
Right.
Why do you want to be that stressed out all the time where you have to know their exact whereabouts or like be on the phone with them 24/7?
Yeah.
That's unhealthy. That's should be
stalking.
able to be your own person and to trust that your partner's not going to do something that you have told them you don't want them to do.
Right. Just don't do it, man.
And it shouldn't be the end of the world where if they do something to break your trust, to end that relationship.
Yeah.
Or to talk about it or whatever. Like, I think that's the thing too, is like you're so scared of not being in a relationship. And at the same time, you have to have total control over that person.
Yeah.
Like, because if you break up, what happens? Like, you're not a person anymore?
Right.
Like, I don't
why is
understand.
it so awful? But yeah, it's that weird, you can't have both. You can't know where your partner is every second of the day and know exactly what they're doing all the time. That, and then you also can't be dating all the time.
Right.
Because that's not
it's
healthy.
Codependent.
Yeah.
You are merged with that person, and because you're doing it so early, it's so dangerous.
Yeah. Hate to see that.
Because if this guy was so offended by this woman being a piercer from the beginning, why did you continue dating her?
Right.
If that's an offensive career to you, don't date her.
Yeah.
She's not your person. But
you're
you
really
held off.
It wasn't
to hope that she would come to some conclusion that, like, oh my gosh, I'm in a committed relationship with a man. Why am I touching another man?
Yeah. Because this is interesting too with their situation was that he didn't bring it up that it was a problem until it was her piercing another man's nipples. So it's not the job that's the problem.
It's her touching men.
It's her touching another man.
But it sounds like, and it sounds like too, from the very first message in that screenshot, it sounded like he was being pouty. And she was trying to say, hey, what's wrong? And he was like, I'm just upset about something, but I'll get over it.
Yeah.
And she had to pull it out of him.
She does say, it starts with her saying, is everything okay? I thought you seemed like something was maybe bothering you when you came over.
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, something's been bugging me and I'm working on it.
So she had to pull it out of him after 9 months.
Yeah.
Because she didn't come to her own conclusion that it was inappropriate for her to touch other men at her job where they're asking, like,
to get pierced.
What if she was a doctor?
Yeah.
Like,
are you going to be upset with her if she's like I don't know, she does like colonoscopies for people?
Right. Oh, I have to check your lymph nodes. That's inappropriate.
Right.
You're too close to his mouth.
But is it inappropriate because she's working a job where she's doing piercings on a man's nipples?
Yeah, what if she's a dermatologist and she has to look at his whole body? Like,
right. I don't think that would be a problem to this guy. It's specifically because she had to touch a man's nipples for her job. That's what he has a problem with himself.
And she didn't come to the conclusion herself, so now he has to be pouty about it and say, I can't believe you didn't find this inappropriate. You're in a relationship.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't realize I was upset about this thing that I didn't tell you I was upset about.
Right. Only single women can pierce men's nipples. Because clearly it's a sexual thing.
I don't think that's the case. This guy's got his own problems that he's not willing to work out.
The men that she's piercing have no self-control either. Like, clearly,
yeah, that
a woman
too.
is touching my nipples. That means she wants me.
Yeah. Even though I asked for her to punch holes in them.
And I don't know this person.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but we have to have sex now.
It's immediately sexual now. She touched my nipples. We have to bone now. Hard no. Dump him.
Yeah, dump him.
Dump him. There's no follow-up, unfortunately, on that one. They deleted their account. I really hope they dump them.
I think she got the answer she needed.
Yeah. The other funny thing about Am I Overreacting is that 60% of them are relationship-based. So that was also relevant topics for today. Am I overreacting for spouse saying all you had to do was ask? My husband and I have 2 kids under 5, and we had just gotten back from the pool with my mom. My dad brought in the cooler and towels. My dad, I'm so sorry. My husband brought in the cooler and towels. I just didn't read it right. Put them out to dry while I carried in the toddler and the water bottles. My husband had changed into dry clothes in the locker room, but I was still in my swimsuit. The kids were screaming and in their hangry, sleepy phase before nap time, and I was overwhelmed. I asked for help from my husband, then looked up to see him filling up the watering can to water his plants, a less than urgent activity. Incredulous, I asked him, "Were you about to water the plants?" "Yes, but I stopped as soon as you asked me for help. I brought in all the stuff from the van." And then she says, "Yes, but we still have 2 kids, and I haven't changed yet." This quickly spiraled into a back and forth of defensiveness where he said he's always happy to help. All I have to do is ask. I stated that's unfair labor on my part, and I should not need to ask. It should have been observed or offered as a part of a normal chaotic transition back home. He eventually apologized and said that he will know in the future that transitions like that require extra care. I maintained that that's something we've already established, and when I identified it, I received undue defensiveness. His response is that communication goes 2 ways, and if I don't want him to get defensive, I have to communicate in a way that is less reactive and condescending. These 2 are obviously in couples therapy.
I mean, they are using a lot of
the words they're using.
Language, yeah.
I want to know honestly, am I reacting from feeling wronged here, unjustly? Hang on, this makes no sense. I want to know honestly, am I reacting from feeling wronged, therefore unjustly feel I can do no wrong? I feel like parenting is so damn hard that it feels too much to need any help, naturally expect that help, and have to ask for it in a way that's pretty and sweet. So I think they're upset that their spouse wants them to ask for help when they need it because they think that their husband should be able to jump in and help when it is quote unquote obviously needed.
Yes.
And then the husband is saying, I don't know if you need help unless you ask for it.
This is an interesting topic. I'm not sure. I think we've touched on weaponized incompetence and mental loads and sharing the load and kind of things, but I don't know that we've really gone into it. And I'm curious what your opinions are.
I see both sides here. Because when I get overwhelmed, I have a really hard time asking for help because it feels like an extra labor. Yeah. It makes me feel like a burden too. Yeah. So in the moment when I'm struggling, I basically don't ask for help. But I'm lucky that my partner recognizes that I'm struggling and doesn't say anything and just helps.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she's wanting. Mm-hmm. Right? From her husband. But on the other hand, her husband is saying, I don't know that you need help unless you communicate that with me.
Yeah.
And that feels a little bit like weaponized incompetence a little bit. But at the same time, in this specific situation, he might not have realized that she was struggling because they're all coming home from the pool and he brought in the stuff from the van and put the towels out to dry. So in his head, he's going through his checklist. He's like, cool. And then she's got the kids. Got it.
Right.
He doesn't realize that her list of things she has to do in her head is way too big.
Right. And he doesn't know what the list is.
Right. Of stuff that needs to be done.
Stuff that she wants done versus the stuff that he wants done.
Right. So in his head, he was like, okay, I brought the stuff in from the van. I put the towels out to dry. She's taking care of the kids, and it's before nap time. So he's probably like, okay, she's putting them down. Mm-hmm. So that means me, the husband, okay, I have time to water my plants.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
And then she's mad because she needed help, but she doesn't want to have to ask for help when she needs it every time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about weaponized incompetence recently because my partner and I are working towards moving in together. Mm-hmm. And he is very spatially aware when there's mess. And I am not.
And that's a very common thing with ADHD.
Yes.
Is the mess just becomes the background of where you're living, and so you don't notice that it's there.
Or I see it and it seems so overwhelming that I feel like I can't take it on, because if I take it on, I have to finish it.
Right.
And then it's I can't it's hard for me to get to a point of like maintenance because it doesn't bother me until it's huge.
Yeah,
and then it feels
yeah.
overwhelming. So is that weaponized incompetence? Because I don't notice it, but he just like notices it and is just like, well, it's there, so just do it.
Yeah, I don't think that's weaponized incompetence. I think that's just like, it's like tolerance levels of when things need to be done.
Yeah. I think there's a difference between like, and I think there's a difference between preferences too. Like,
yeah. What does clean look like?
Right. I don't like doing things that are gross. Like,
yeah, like the dishes.
right. Like I don't want to touch gross stuff, or like I'll vacuum, but then I hate emptying the vacuum because all the hair and shit gets stuck in there.
Me too.
I hate it. So like I avoid it because I know that's part of it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I know I need to not do that. And then sometimes it's like literally like I don't notice. Like I know where my stuff is.
Yeah.
It looks like a mess, but like I don't know. It's a whole thing. So like in this case, is that weaponized incompetence that he just didn't notice that his wife was overwhelmed and that the kids were screaming? He was like, well, I took care of bringing the stuff in. Now I'm taking care of the plants. Like I'm helping.
Yeah.
And he didn't notice the kids going on, or didn't notice that she was overwhelmed. And I think in addition, women are sort of socialized to recognize what's going on with other people. Mm-hmm. And then it's easy to become resentful when other people can't see that we need help because we're so good at noticing it in other people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that sounds exactly what's going on here. I think is that he's just doesn't notice that she needs help, and she does not want to ask for help because that's just
I think she's more upset that he didn't recognize that she was overstimulated and tired.
Yeah.
And ask for what help she needed or to intuit what she needed. I think it's more the emotions that she's upset that he didn't recognize rather than asking for help. Right.
And they also, it sounds like they are doing couples therapy together, I'm assuming, just from the language that she used in the post. And it sounds like this is a recurring thing. Mm-hmm. But what is probably happening is that they're trying to talk about it and communicate it in the moment instead of saying, hey, I am really frustrated and I don't think now's the time to talk about it. Can we talk about it later? You can totally have these communications later when you are not pissed off with screaming children nearby.
Yeah.
Take care of that first and then come back to it later. You can do that. That's okay. And I think that might be kind of what's going on, is that why it keeps coming back up is that they're having this communication when they're both like upset with each other.
True. Yeah. You need to de-escalate and then talk about it. Because I agree. I think they're both right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anyone's wrong. I don't think anyone's overreacting. I think maybe just adjusting when we talk about it a little bit would help.
Because it's so easy when you are that escalated to be like, clearly, I'm in my bathing suit still. I'm uncomfortable. But like, unless you're like really slowing down to look at the situation, it's going to be hard for you to pick up on all that in the moment.
Yeah. So, you can't have a conversation. You can't communicate effectively if you're dysregulated. You just can't.
Yeah, and it's easier to think about your own needs at the time than to recognize, oh, well, he might not notice that because he's already changed out of his swimsuit, so he doesn't realize that I'm also uncomfortable. Because
that's all you can think about, is that I'm uncomfortable, I'm still in my swimsuit, these kids are screaming and probably giving me a headache. That's all I can think about right now. So that's going to be my problem right now.
Right. Yeah, it's tricky.
It is.
Because I understand being irritable and overstimulated and tired and hate being in a wet swimsuit. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like that's something to plan for ahead of time, maybe.
The best that you can,
next time when we go to the pool and we come back, could you take one kid and I'll take the other kid and get them changed so that we can do it in half the time, and then we can get the stuff from the car after the kids are in a nap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like now is also not the time to talk about what just happened and why it was wrong.
Right.
It's just to be like, okay, next time this is how we're going to take care of it so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because there's really not a whole lot of progress is going to happen if you just are like talking about what went wrong and just stewing in that part of it.
Yeah.
Not much is going to change, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That was a very tough one.
Were the comments on that one all on her side very...
Yeah, the comments are interesting. Most people were on her side, calling him mean things.
Yeah. I had a feeling that they would latch onto the weaponized incompetence and be like, nope, he's terrible.
A lot of them are attacking the husband. Somehow the guy knows that the plants need watering, but he's got 2 screaming children, doesn't seem to attend to them at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the post, she said that they do the hangry, sleepy, crying thing before nap time. Like, that's kind of a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like, which makes sense. They're toddlers, so they're going to protest going to take their nap. So, you know, in his mind, he's probably like, happens every time they take a nap. She's got it. She's got it handled. Right.
Or it's not a big deal. They're whiny.
Yeah. Like, this is just what they do every time they go down for a nap.
Yeah.
And then especially after swimming at a pool all day and they're probably tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Basically, everyone is anti the husband.
And after spending 45 minutes talking about toxic masculinity and how it's really awful, like, now we're like, yeah, but the man.
But that's really what it is, though, is that we're not anti-men.
No, absolutely not. We are pro vulnerability and communication.
Yeah. That's our job.
Right. Because women are socialized to be the homemakers and like figure everything out and just know everything, and that shouldn't be the case either.
Right.
We should socialize everybody to take care of the place that they live in.
Everyone helps out.
And the people that they made. Like,
yeah. Everyone, the parents do parenting. All 2 of them or whoever's involved. Like, everyone takes turn being parent. Everyone takes turn helping clean up and taking care of the house. Everyone just helps out. Therefore, the load is not too much for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like the husband in the comments on that.
Yeah, I had a feeling they were going to go in on him.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well.
Not super nice. Okay, so we're going to go in a different direction here. This one got me. Am I overreacting for wanting to talk to my ex after church? So my ex, 21 female, and I, 22 male, broke up about 8 months ago due to life stress, school, long distance, etc. We were dating for about 1.5 years and were getting pretty serious. Recently, after she graduated, we started talking off and on again. She even mentioned maybe meeting up after she finished a major test, so I gave her some space until then. I was out of town for a month while we were casually talking, and she said that she cared about me but didn't want to lead me on. I told her I was fine taking things slow and just seeing who we are now and no pressure. Today was my first Sunday back in town, and I wanted to talk to her in person. The thing is, her family is very overprotective, super judgmental, tends to put people into predefined boxes, and tries to control her a lot. I didn't want to cause her drama by approaching her around them, so I parked and waited in my car, hoping to catch her when she went to her own car. She usually parks further away from her family. Whatever. After waiting a while, she didn't come out, so I left. Then I saw her dad driving her and her sister to her car like they were actively avoiding me. That made me feel like they might think I'm some kind of stalker, which I'm not, so I texted her on Snapchat. I hate when people do that. This is what he sent her. All right, girl's name, message received. I won't be reaching out or putting myself in a place I'm not comfortable with or being labeled as something I'm not. I care about my reputation. So if there's a misunderstanding about my character, I'd like to clear it up directly with your dad. Remember the note I gave you and your response to it. We were mutually seeing where the future could take us, and right now it's taking me in a direction I don't want to go with my character in question. If you want to talk, you know where to find me. Take care. For context, the note I'm referring to was one that I gave her a month and a half ago asking if she wanted to meet up. She said she wanted to, but not yet because she was still studying for this huge test. So I don't know why he felt the need to bring up that note because that seems irrelevant to me. But whatever. Now I feel like her family sees me in the wrong light, and honestly, it makes me not even want to try anymore because they're so quick to judge and control everything around her. She hasn't read the message yet, and I feel like she's all of a sudden avoiding me now. Am I overreacting for feeling like this and for sending that message?
Wow, so many assumptions.
This one got me because, like, it started out like, okay, and I was like, okay, like...
You gave her space.
You gave her space, and you're communicating you're still interested, but you're, like, you know, you're going to give her some space, and...
I had a feeling that maybe she was trying to let him down easy and he wasn't getting the message.
That's what I think, too. Because she was like, I still care about you, but not...
She was like, I don't want to lead you on.
But I don't... Yeah. That, to me, if I got a message like that, that would read, oh, like, I still care about you maybe more as, like, a person and a friend, but not romantically. And that, like, time to drop it.
Right.
But he did not read it that way. He read it that he still had a chance with her because she cared about him. And then he got butthurt later on and sent that message. What do you think about that message?
It was so upsetting.
Yeah.
Sir, don't make something up in your head and then tell people and then yell at people as if they said it to your face.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Like, making some huge assumptions here. That people are avoiding him and they think he's a stalker now and stuff like that.
Because how do you expect them to respond to that? To
Right.
be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's exactly what I was doing. And now I love you. Like, no.
Yeah.
They're going to get defensive. Of course they are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what their intentions were. They're going to get defensive to that message.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to burn a bridge and just be a jerk, then congratulations.
Which
you
he
did that.
pretty much did. I'm going to assume that this burned a bridge and they're all done. So...
And then he did the, like, remember how I gave you that note that said I was going to give you space? Remember how I'm a nice guy and have given you space, and now you're going to throw it in my face like that? Like, that's how you get down the toxic masculinity pipeline.
Yep.
Where you're like, I was real nice and I gave her space, and then she rejected me.
Like,
You are
how
not
dare she?
owed. Being nice does not mean you are owed anything.
Yeah. You should just be nice to be nice.
And yes, if she wanted to break up with him and tell him there's no chance, like, she should have said that. But also, like, don't assume that you're good to go if she doesn't clearly give you a yes.
They have been broken up for 8 months.
Yeah.
And we're just, like, talking.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, you can talk to your exes. That's fine. As long as they're not acting like this. But, what probably happened was that he started, like, pushing, and she didn't know how to tell him no without it becoming a thing. So she tried to let him down gently, but he interpreted that the way he wanted it to be. And it, that's not good.
Yeah.
That message was not good.
Was
right.
not.
Blah, blah, blah. Message received.
Okay.
Also, sending it in Snapchat, I'm sorry, but, like, sending it in Snapchat where it's going to be deleted once they read it is kind of, like, cowardly-ish to me.
I don't know.
And it's like, are you going to...
Some people text exclusively on Snapchat. It's weird.
I don't like Snapchat.
I don't either.
Opinion, I don't like Snapchat.
We've talked about that on podcast before.
Yeah,
we don't like Snapchat. And
It's
people
dumb.
should not be on Snapchat.
I don't. It's dumb.
Yeah.
So this was posted 4 hours ago.
Oh, wow.
It was a very recent post. And had no comments, of course, when I was reading it. The original poster followed up. Update. I've ended everything. We aren't going to be talking anymore. It's over. It's all over.
Well, yeah, you did that with the message that you sent.
Yeah.
And then you worked yourself up more in the time that she didn't respond.
Yeah.
And made more assumptions.
So, yeah.
And painted a picture and wrote a story.
He's taking control of the narrative in a way that makes him feel better.
And superior.
I broke up with her, even though they weren't dating anymore. I ended things. And we're not talking anymore. It's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a prime candidate for incel toxic masculinity.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're young too, 21 and 22. Mm-hmm. They don't have their brains yet. So that's playing into it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And 2 people have commented.
Oh, no.
One person said, "You're overreacting. It's been 8 months. Move on. You're acting like a full-on stalker." And the other person said the same thing. "You're a stalker, dude."
Yeah, you're not a stalker.
I think
You're
it's
just reading into things.
Yeah.
Very wrongly instead of asking for clarification or communicating directly about your intentions.
Yeah.
And my other question is, he clearly doesn't like her family, so why does he want to date her?
Yeah. Like, why would he want to deal with that?
Yeah.
Which, makes it seem like maybe part of why their relationship didn't work out was maybe the family didn't like him. Mm-hmm. And that took a toll on their relationship.
Yeah.
Not a good way to handle that at all.
Not at all, but way to go for working yourself up into quite the tizzy.
I know, it was crazy. So they posted this 4 hours ago. 2 hours later is when they posted the update. "I've ended everything."
Yeah, and there's no
it's
feedback.
still there.
He hasn't received any feedback.
He didn't receive any feedback until he posted the update saying that he ended everything.
Yeah. She didn't even read the message. That means that she's avoiding me and that she...
Yeah. So I'm going to end things now so that I'm in control.
Yep. No. Mm-mm. When you have that strong of a need for control over other people and the narrative, you need to take a step back.
Yeah, you don't need to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
You need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Go work on yourself,
please. Work on yourself.
Please. Where are we at on time?
Hour 20.
Okay. Do we want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay, this is another text one.
Lots of text.
Tinder. Okay.
Oh, Tinder.
Am I overreacting? Should I be creeped out by my Tinder dates messages? Hi guys, using a throwaway account for my own privacy. I, 21 female, met this guy, 25 male, on Tinder recently, and things were going pretty well and good between us. I thought he was funny and seemed sweet through our conversations. We talked frequently, and I eventually gave him my number. He recently asked me out on our first official date at some fancy restaurant, and the date was going very well until he dropped me off at my house. When we got there, he basically tried to invite himself inside by saying that we could continue the date and have a few drinks inside my house. I was like, what the fuck? Because this was the first date, and I don't do that type of stuff. And he was overly pushy about it, which made me uncomfortable and unsure if going on this date was a good idea. I eventually got him to go by saying that I was feeling tired and I had to get up early tomorrow for my morning shift at work, which wasn't a lie. Mm-hmm. The next morning, I had woken up to these weird-ass text messages from him early in the morning. It genuinely creeped me out, but I don't know. Oh, I'm going to save that last part for after I read these messages to you. Okay. So these were sent starting at 3:42 a.m.
Oh, God.
Like after their date. And they're all from him. Hey, I was thinking of you all night when I got home. We should go out again. I'm disappointed we couldn't do more. This is 2 minutes later. I'm disappointed we couldn't do more during our date. Would love to spend the night with a pretty girl like you. 20 minutes later. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty unhappy with how the night ended. A few minutes later. I don't know. I don't appreciate your bitchy attitude not letting me in after such a nice night. 3 minutes later. If I'd known you weren't going to give me shit, I wouldn't have wasted my time with you.
What?
7:30 in the morning the next morning when she woke up and saw these messages. What the fuck is your problem? I don't appreciate being spoken to in that way. That was really uncalled for. If this is how you're going to act, I don't want to keep talking to you.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how she responded.
Okay.
And then he says, holy shit, I am so sorry for all of that. I got drunk last night and don't remember shit. Please ignore that. I didn't mean a word I said and don't think of you like that at all. I know you are probably pretty unhappy with me, but I wanted to make things right. How about we go see that movie that you told me about so I can make things up to you?
Nah, fuck you. I don't care if you were drinking or not. You told the truth.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
and then what did she say in the post?
She said, next morning, woke up, saw these weird texts from him in the morning. It creeped me out, but I don't know. He said he was drunk, but I still feel weird about it. I haven't replied back yet, but I don't know what to do. Am I overreacting, or is this something to be concerned about? So
he was being pushy.
Yeah, I agree. She's unsure because he made the excuse that he got drunk. And that's why he was saying those things.
She had a nice time during the date.
Yeah. She said everything was fine up until he was being pushy about coming into her house at the end of the date.
He said the quiet part out loud that he was expecting that the whole time.
Yep.
And then he was disappointed because his expectations weren't met. He has the expectation that if he treats her nicely, she's going to sleep with him.
Yep.
And then he got mad.
He didn't get what he wanted.
Right. And I don't know why. Why is that the expectation? Because of toxic masculinity.
Yes. Yeah. Because that's the narrative that is told of like, this is what the perfect date looks like.
Right. If you are nice to a woman, she will sleep with you.
Yeah.
Because women are whores and objects.
Yeah. So they're going to give you what you want because you deserve it.
But
for treating them nice.
Be like that.
But also, yeah,
because
that's loose and immoral.
And why is she on a date with you in the first place? She should be taking care of the children.
Yeah. But how'd she have children in the first place? She had sex.
She's a whore.
She's a whore. At least 3 times because you got 3 kids. Anyway. Like,
she has to be a virgin, but she has to sleep with me.
Yeah. But only to have babies? She can't enjoy it either.
She can't enjoy it, but it's only for my pleasure.
Yeah.
And also, how dare she?
The toxic masculinity within sex and pleasure is not a whole separate thing, but it's just a whole other topic area of bullshit.
Yes. I have seen clips of videos of men saying female orgasms aren't real.
Yeah, or they're just not the same. They're not actually that big of a deal. Okay.
Yeah, sex is only for procreation, but I can do it as much as I want because I deserve it as a man.
Right. Yeah.
So what's it for?
Is sex for procreating, or is it for pleasure, or can it be for both? Apparently it can't be for both because that's too much.
Well, some people are gross. And
yeah,
like,
that is true.
I need to spread my seed as far and wide as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. You can have fun while making your kids. That's okay.
I don't understand that. And again, he spent time after that date building up a narrative.
Yep. At 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
3 in the morning. I don't care if you were drunk.
Yeah.
Those are thoughts that you had and felt the need to share. They're going to come out eventually if you keep seeing that man.
And if you're drunk, that's kind of like truth serum.
Yeah. Anytime somebody's like, well, he was drunk when he said that. Okay.
Cool. So his inside thoughts came outside.
Still had the thought.
Yeah.
If I'm drunk, I don't think those things.
Yeah.
I don't say racist things when I'm drunk because I don't have the racist thought.
Yeah. I don't think that way. Therefore, when I'm drunk, my drunk brain doesn't think that way either. Yeah. Gross. Super gross. And everyone is telling her, you did not overreact and dump his ass. Mm-hmm. Don't go out on another date with him. Someone said, in quotations, like the guy is saying, oops, sorry about that. My mask fell off for a second.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly what happened.
My mask fell off.
My good guy mask.
My true intentions were revealed.
Yep.
I went on this date with you to sleep with you and nothing else.
Yeah, that's what he's communicating because that's how he thinks. That's what he thinks.
Because even the switch during those so-called drunk texts we're
so fast.
I had such a great time. I was disappointed that we didn't have sex. Actually, you're a bitch because you didn't have sex.
He literally was like, first text was a nice one. Thinking about you all night when I got home. We should go out again. You stop there.
Also, all night. It's 3 a.m. Night's not done.
Yeah, I don't know how late their date went. Yeah. Also, like, what kind of life are you living, dude? You're up really late.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that first text, which would have been fine to send by on its own, that's when he started going, I'm disappointed we couldn't do more. I would love to spend the night with a pretty girl like you. Creepy. And then now I think about it, I'm happy. I don't appreciate your bitchy attitude not letting me in. If I had known you weren't going to give me shit, I wouldn't have wasted my time.
Right. So now it's a waste of time to spend time with a pretty girl that's nice.
Yeah, because being nice to women is a waste of time. That's what I'm hearing.
How does that supposed to make women feel when people say that?
Yeah. How am I supposed to want to go out with someone if they're going to say that to me?
With anybody. Like, because now it's like, okay, so all of this nice conversation was for what?
Yeah.
To get in my pants?
And now I don't trust anyone who's nice to me.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do this. Because that's what's been shown to me over and over again.
Right. And then you have the incel people who are like, oh, well, you can't be nice to women because they only pick the assholes. And then it's like, well, they pick the ones who are honest. Like,
yeah. At least they're being honest that they're an asshole.
And how do you know that they're an asshole? Because that you think they're attractive?
They're kind of mean, but they tell the truth all the time.
Because they feel like, oh, you're attractive, so you can get whatever you want, so you don't have to be nice, so you're not nice.
Right.
I'm ugly, so I have to be nice to trick people
into liking
sleeping with me.
Even though I'm an abhorrent human being.
Right. I actually think women are pigs. Like,
There's no logic. There's no logic there. Just goes in circles and makes no sense.
Right. I don't
know how to get out of that.
I have a hard time understanding that, and I would love to have a conversation with somebody who knows more about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not men. I think that's a big part of it. So we experience toxic masculinity as the pig women that they think we are.
Yes.
So that, I don't know if we could ever fully understand where that comes from, because we just can't. We don't have that experience.
Yep. And if we ever embrace our sexuality, that was another thing, the YouTube video that Not Even Emily, who's introduced me to the Madonna horror complex, she was saying, like, as soon as a woman embraces her sexuality, she loses all her credibility. Like, if a woman says something smart and a man is like, oh my gosh, I totally agree with you, and then later he finds out that she has an OnlyFans, she's totally discredited. Everything she says is stupid and untrue because, oh my God, how dare she make money from her sexuality and enjoy herself.
You can't be smart and have a full sex life at the same time, apparently.
You can't be desirable and nurturing. You can't be desirable and smart.
It's that Barbie speech that America Ferrera gives.
Yeah.
Gets me every time. But it's that whole speech that she gives.
It's so true.
It's the truth. That is what it is like.
You can't be feminine and smart either. Because, like,
no.
If you think about all the movies that we watched growing up, the mean girl was the feminine girl.
Yep.
And the cool protagonist was, like, kind of tomboyish.
And then she became a bit of a mean girly girl by the end of the movie.
Right.
Like 9 times out of 10.
Or, like, you know, she can't... The goal of the movie is to get the guy, and you're competing against the traditional feminine lady.
Yeah. And then instead of getting the guy, you get with your best friend instead.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Those tropes. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. Ugh. Let's just start over.
Yeah. Let's, with everything, like Big Bang style, start over.
Yeah, like Noah's Ark style. We'll build the ark.
We're not even going to Big Bang everyone. We're just going to flood the earth. And I mean, well, then who would you have on your ark?
I don't know.
All the people
I
like.
All those rich people who want to go live on Mars, let's just let them.
Yeah, and then we can blow it up.
We'll start over with the people who are here.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Have fun. Build a new planet.
Yeah. Bye. We don't want you here anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, great job finding Reddit stories that fit the toxic masculinity theme.
It wasn't hard. Unfortunately, it wasn't hard.
Well, you're going to need some more in 2 weeks because I'm going to do part 2.
Maybe I'll keep it light with something opposite.
Maybe.
Just
I don't know.
so that we don't end on a rage.
Yeah. I wonder if there are Reddit stories that specifically mention Andrew Tate, since I'm going to focus
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
I accidentally... I don't know what I was looking at. I think I was looking at like podcast something on Reddit, and Joe Rogan's podcast popped up, and I was like,
yes.
Like, why are you here?
Well, I was on YouTube trying to find like therapist reacts to alpha male stuff, and so I put in like alpha male psychology, and then I was getting like the alpha male content suggested to me, and I was like, no, I don't want it. I don't want to know. Like, stop feeding me this.
I don't want that to pop up in my algorithm.
Right.
I just am researching it because holy shit, we gotta do something about it.
So I was like, no.
Yeah. Every time something like that pops up on my TikTok, I immediately put not interested, and what do I put? Oh, I put offensive every time.
Okay.
Every time.
Yeah. Would you like to give us a sneak peek of what we can expect next week?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a deep dive, and it's probably going to be a multi-part, so I'll narrow down the exact subject, but it's going to be a deep dive on why D&D is good for you.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a lot out there of research and stuff, so I'm gonna have to break it up into chunks and like pick my favorite ones, I think. But yeah, so why Dungeons and Dragons is good for your mental health, and yeah, I'm gonna talk a whole lot about it because I love D&D. I pretty much eat, live, and breathe D&D right now. I listen to 2 D&D podcasts. I go back and forth. I've been watching watching a D&D show when I'm at home. And then I am going to be potentially a game master for a D&D campaign soon.
Yay.
So I've been working on that too. And I'm just like...
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm putting all of my creative writing experience into it, and I'm just like, oh, this is so much better than trying to write a novel.
Yeah. Ugh, yeah.
But yeah.
I'm excited.
D&D, why it's good for your brain.
Yeah.
'Cause
okay.
it is.
I think it's good that we're going back and forth even when there's going to be part 2s.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you want more of this,
Yeah.
you can do that, and you don't have to...
Almost like a series.
Yeah.
You're doing the Toxic Masculinity series, and I'm doing a D&D series.
Yours sounds more fun.
I mean, when you told me what you were going to do, and so I was like, I need to do something that's more fun. We got to balance this a little bit.
My idea after Toxic Masculinity is also pretty dark. So
yeah, it is. I saw it on the list.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep it light.
You can do whatever you want, but I like the D&D. Yeah.
There's also that show I told you about that I want to tear apart.
Yes.
And talk about, but I need to rewatch it a couple of times and like pay attention.
Yeah.
But I'll do that too. But yeah, next week I'm going to talk about D&D.
Yay!
I might bring in some visual aids as well.
Yes, so stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. I am committed to putting out these episodes regularly. We're going to put out the new episodes starting now regularly. We're going to throw in some of the ones that are older that haven't been released yet. We're going to throw those out there sporadically so that our hard work isn't wasted.
Yeah.
Because we did talk about some good stuff. It's just like outdated a little bit now.
Yeah. And there'll be some weeks where we need to skip for whatever reason doing more current recordings, so we're going to fill in with some old content we haven't released.
Yeah. But I am committed to releasing things more regularly, weekly. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you tell your friends that we're a legit podcast that puts out content.
Yeah.
And rate, review, subscribe, share. Tell us in the comments about your experience with toxic masculinity or some topics that you'd like us to dive deep into.
Yeah.
And come back next week.
Yeah. Find us on all the social medias, but not Snapchat.
Yeah, not Snapchat.
Hate it.
Not that one. All right.
Bye.